Good morning, everybody. Been a bit of a hiccup because I didn't get any sound on my last recording, so I'm going to start it all over again. All right. First of all, I left out an answer from the other day. Who are the family members from Thunderbirds Argo from Tracy Island? Yeah, those were Tracy family. The other problem I've had is, you know, the little bit that starts the tape, it's giving the date. I've got to come up with some way of remembering to change the date, because the graphics I change, I have to remember to change the date. So yesterday's showed the 27th, when in fact it was the 28th, because it's the 29th. Yes, it's the 29th, and it's a Wednesday. And this is my message from the sergeant's desk. So let's crack on. Cold caller. Had a cold caller this morning. Excuse me, is that Richard Hope? So it depends on who's calling. What are you selling? Oh, I'm not selling anything. Oh, right, well, go on, give me the sales pitch anyway. Oh, well, we're just wondering, our company's just wondering whether you'll be interested in releasing the equity from your property. Oh, crumbs, yeah, you bet I'll be interested, but there might be a slight problem because the rugby club might get a bit upset if I did. Oh, so you pay rent, do you? Yeah, is that a problem? Yes, I'm afraid it is. Oh, it's a pity you didn't do your research a bit better then. Bye! Unbelievable. Okay. Could be worse. I'm going to tell you a story. First off, it's called A Winter's Tale. I hope you're sitting comfortably. Then I'll begin. Once upon a time, it was the late 1980s, and I was a patrol officer, mobile patrol officer from the Bredbury area. But one Christmas time, I was ordered, because somebody had gone sick or taken the day off, was ordered to do a parade at Marple Police Station. And then I'd get to use the Land Rover. And I was qualified to drive of the old Land Rover. Anyway, I paraded there, and I got a phone call from the sergeant who said, right, Richard, the usual thing, shouldn't be too busy up there, but stick to the main roads, you don't want to run into any trouble. Don't worry, Sarge, yeah, I'll stick to the main roads, did-da-did-da-did-da, no problems. Main roads, my foot. So, into the Land Rover. Very rare excursion for me. Low ratio. Oh yeah, right, I got all that sorted. And off I go. Well, it was quiet. Midnight came and went. There's nothing going on. Snow is deep and crisp and even. Or was that my pizza? Anyway. And I decided to go a little bit off track, a bit quieter places. So I went through Marple Bridge and headed up the hill and kept on going. I thought, I don't even know where the boundary is here. Well, where is the next county or whatever, or the next division? So there's a left here, so I turned left, and then I kept on going, and the snow got a bit heavier, and the snow got a bit deeper, and I thought, and the words, stick to the main roads, Richard, stick to the main roads. This voice in the back of my mind. So, as I turned this corner, I saw the lights of civilization to my left. So I thought, right, next left, straight there, head for the lights. So a little bit further down, but deeper, turn left. Whew, going down this road and steeper and steeper. God, it's a good job I haven't got to go back up this road past this farmhouse. Gosh, did I say about not going back up this road? Oh dear, there's a 5-bar gate right across the road. What's of all the roads in all the world I've picked? So I executed a 138-point turn, or somewhere thereabouts. Thought, phew. Right, bit flat at the bottom, so take a run up and we'll get it up the hill. We're up the hill, No, I'm not going to make it. Anyway, about 5 attempts I had at this, and I'm just there's a sharp right-hander at one point with a bit of a ditch. I thought I kept bottling out, so eventually going to really go for it. And I got up to this bend and I thought, right, I'll just stop here for a second. So stop the vehicle and put all the brakes on. Just took a deep breath, looked to my left, and then it was to my alarm that the wall to my left was moving, and it was moving that way. I was sliding down the hill and I was doing nothing. I might as well take my hands off the wheel and just keep my fingers crossed. Well, I suppose that half worked because the back wheel, the back near side wheel, then dropped off the road into a shallow ditch. And it go boom, but no crunch of hitting anything. I thought, well, on the balance of things, I've not done too badly. So I get out the car, walk around the back. I'm literally this far off the wall. I'm so close to the wall. Perhaps it was that far. I was that close for a dry stone wall. So, well, I'm just not going to get out of here. Am I going to have to shout up and show my hand what a dipstick I've been? Hang on a minute. House at the top of the hill I've driven past. I wonder. About 100 yards up the hill, or a bit less. Oh, go on then. Coat on. And up the hill I went. Well, as I knocked on the door, I could hear the man, somebody appearing. I think I knew it was a man straight away. If it had been in the Times of C19, I would have done a runner there because he was a candidate. Anyway, eventually, this little friendly man opened up. Oh, hello, officer. How can I help you? So, so I told him my dad. Oh, not a problem. We'll sort you out. And he was more optimistic than I was. So anyway, I'm expecting him to get dressed. No. Just pulls a coat, his long, dirty old Mac on top of him, pulls his wellies on. He's there in his pyjamas underneath, and off we trudge. So we have a bit of a chinwag. Oh, how's it going, officer? Oh, very well, thanks. Yeah. Do you get them up here often? I said, no, I don't. Where the hell are we? Oh, top of Mellor. You'll be right. We'll get you out. So we get eventually down. Oh, you got yourself in a bit of a spot there. I said, you're not kidding, are you? I'm thinking to myself. So he says, I'll tell you what. Right, you get in a low ratio 4-wheel drive and get it going forward as much as you can and steering to the right. So I do this, and as I go forward, I feel the back end of the the Land Rover pop back onto the road. I thought, how the hell has he managed to do that? He's only a little fella, as strong as a bleeding ox. So he comes back into the... Right, that's sorted that. Now let's back down the hill. So we back down the hill. He says, right, I want you to go full welly up the hill. Don't slow for no man, and we'll get you up there. So 3 attempts, no good. He said, right, this time, stop taking your foot. I'm watching you. You taking your foot off the gas when we get to that sharp right-hander. Yeah, I'm taking my gas off because there's a 10-foot bloody ditch. Oh, don't worry about the ditch. We'll worry about that later. So we start off again. We're going hell for leather up there. I thought, I'm pretty sure I shut my eyes, to be honest. Turn to the right, go around this rabbit. Oh my God, we're going to die. We're there. We flash past the bed, past his house, 100 yards more past his house. So there you are, lad. Got you up. I said, oh my God, how can I thank you? No, thanks. I said, you're going to be all right? You said, yeah, I'll be all right. I'll get back to my house. Oh, that'll be no problem. So off we go. Oh my God, I'm going to see it in the papers. Farmer found in snowdrift in pyjamas. What was he doing out at that time of night? I'll have to show my hand. I'll be the star witness at the inquest. Anyway, just cut a long story short, I got home. The snow went virtually the next day, and I was back at Marple the next night, and I took a bottle of scotch up to a certain farmhouse up in Mellor, and I shook the man by his hand, and I said, thank you. And surprise, surprise, he said, no problem at all, lad. I said, our secret. I said, I might just tell one or two people in one day. I said, no problem, night night, and waste me on my way. And I thank that man all these years later. I hope he's well. So there you are. That's a winter's tale. A winter's tale. I've got a quick mystery object for you. It's a little metal. Can you see it? It's a little metal dice. It's got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 sides to it. Okay, got numbers on it. All right. Okay. Now, what is that from? It's quite heavy. Okay. Where does it come from? Anybody know? Okay, moving on. Tomorrow's story is about. I found out this one of my old sergeants has died in the last couple of years. I'll just call him Harry, and he's got a couple of stories about him, and so I'll perhaps bring those to you tomorrow. I'm going to plenty of time. I've had a note from a Mrs. Featherstone from Reddish. She, with a bit of advice, she says that if you're thinking of using a bra, converting it into a face mask, you should always use the left cup. Now, there's a very good reason for this, and do you know what it is? Because you don't want to feel a right tit going outside, do you? Anyway, moving on. Oh, bit of luck this morning. I have had some luck this morning. I was at Asda doing a bit of shopping after I dropped my friend Mark off at the hospital, and I found a £20 note outside. But I thought, what would Jesus do with a £20 note? He'd turn it into wine. Now listen, I'm coming to a serious point in this discussion, so I'm going to put my hat on. All right, I'm just going to fire this up. What happened was, a year ago, I can't believe a year has gone past already. Near enough. A friend of my son's, I knew the family well, was losing his battle against bowel cancer, and he's only 36 years of age. Left a couple of kids and his wife behind, and it drove me up the wall to hear certain people with the best will in the world, but used to say a certain phrase to me, and I did this, and to be honest, I suppose it's as relevant to now as it ever was. And it's not to cock a snoop at people who have religious and faith in God. It's just my personal look on life, and this is how it goes. God moves in mysterious ways. Oh, he does he? Well, thanks a lot. This weekend has given me time to think a bit about faith again, and I'm afraid I've come to a conclusion. And I know it's a big if there is a God, he needs to be told once and for all that this moving in mysterious ways routine has gone about too bloody far. A lovely 36-year-old father of 2, who I know has lost his fight for life. This dear boy deserved better. I'm bringing this up to date. So did all the nurses and everybody involved in this pandemic. If anybody says to me one more day that God moves in mysterious ways, well, excuse me if I'm left a tad sceptical. Love you, Eric. Hats off to Eric. Hats off to the NHS people who have lost their fight. Listen, each to his own. That's only my personal version of life. Okay. Right, book of the day. Book of the day. Well, it's actually not book of the day. It's, would you believe, 22 books of the day. We're not doing anything by halves today. My son, my first son, oh, I've repopulated the world, me. My first son, born in April, he's just had his 39th birthday. April 1981, it's a good year. Riots in Toxteth and all the rest of it. 1981, and I started collecting photographs and souvenirs and all sorts, everything, and putting them into loose leaf folders, okay? And I've carried on doing that year after year. My second son was born in 83, and my daughter was born in 94, and these books I've kind of started to get a bit tatty, especially the earlier ones. Things fall out of them, and some of the things are hard to read, and they're getting a bit tatty. So what I decided was to convert them to hardback books, and so the very first one, which covers from April to May of 1981, is that one. These are produced by Vistaprint, okay, and are printed in Holland. Their help desk is in Tunisia. The nicest help desk I've ever come across. So I always ring them before I have one made to check whether I can get a better deal on them. But the beauty of it, all the paper is plastic coated. So if you have little grandchildren, kids look at them, they're never get messed up. And you know, things like what was on the telly the day he was born. John Craven's News Round. Terry and June was on. Are we being served? That reminds me, I've got things for tomorrow. Sports night. The Embassy World Professional Snooker Championship. Yeah, I remember I was watching Alex Higgins just before he was born. So there you are, memories. So that's the very first one. And they have gone through all the way through to August 1994. And there's my daughter on the front of her edition, volume 22, as I said. I've now done all the books I've done previously. Now I've got to start putting in, I've got photographs and kept all the stuff since over the last 25 years. So it's going to be another 22 books and the rest. And I'm going to carry on doing it. But I've just got to bite the bullet and get on with it. But it's been a project. It's been a work of love. And it's things like, you put extra things in it, like what was the films of 1994, Forrest Gump. Can't believe it's that long ago. Lion King, Speed, Mask. These are the top 9 films. Shawshank. Oh, a great year for films. Great year for films. And you've got all sorts of things. Their schools and which classes they were in. And, oh, dear. You know who that is? That's little Eric, who I was talking about before, a few years ago. And there's my daughter. So that's it. Vistaprint, absolutely cracking firm. Again, there's 101 different companies who do these things, but I've always had a good service from them. So there you go. Oh, well, what we've got 18 minutes, 19 minutes just up. That sounds a good place to. Tomorrow shall be another day. I'll try and get it recorded right the first time. Nothing worse than having to redo stuff and you think, did I say that the first time? Anyway, and look after yourselves. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to each other. All right? And I'll see you tomorrow. That's all, folks. See you. Bye-bye.